Welcome back to another video. Hope you are having a great day, and today with a HDMI switcher which will solve at least two very common issues which we have with all our TVs. Now commonly our TVs have about one or two HDMI inputs, and usually we have our TV provider set-top box, we have our PlayStation or Xbox, a mini computer, a laptop and a DVD player, sometimes more one device or other. And what we tend to do is when we need to connect a PlayStation, for example, I will need to disconnect something else. Now with this right over here I don't need, because I can connect up to 4 devices simultaneously, and then I will connect directly to the TV. Now this will solve the second issue. When we have 4 or 5 devices connected to our TV, we will have 4 or 5 cables directly connected to our TV, and this means that in terms of cable management is usually a mess. Now when using this HDMI switcher right over here, what happens is that we will connect everything to the switcher, and then only one single cable will come out of the switcher and connect to the TV. So if I put this underneath my TV, underneath the table of the TV for example, then I will only need to manage one cable that will come out of the switch to the TV, and basically that is it. So we can solve two issues at the same time with this array switcher. Now that being said, let's go and take a closer look at it, how it works and how easy it is to set up. And if you are watching this video on your Windows 10 or 11 computer and you still haven't activated and can't even edit your desktop icons, don't forget to check out cdksales.com, where we can find budget official OEM keys at an affordable price, and with the coupon code that you can see on screen and down below on the video description, it will get even cheaper. And besides Windows 11 Pro, if you are looking for Windows 10 or even an Office suite that we can aggregate directly to our Microsoft account, you can use the same coupon code, which will give you the best price possible at this moment. So just in case, the link will be down below. The HDMI switcher at the front has all these LEDs, 4 of them for one of each source, and also a on-off LED, one input at the front, and here at the top we can see a selector button, so we can select here, and we can also select on the remote control, which we will check in just a few moments. Now if we take a look at the back, we have the other input ports, input 2, input 3 and input 4. In case we want to use a device with ARC, then this is the port that we want to use, input 4 with ARC compatibility. And then on the output we will be able to output to our TV, which will go up to 4K at 60 Hz. And right over here we have the power input, DC 5 volts, which we will be connecting the power adapter, which is supplied with US, but we can use an adapter for EU, for example, which is where I live, and then we just need to connect it to give power, and that is it. So let's take a look on how it works. And right now with a setup example with the Array UHD 401 ARC, and ARC because we can take advantage of the HDMI ARC connectivity at the back if we want to connect to our sound system or sound bar compatible with HDMI ARC. Now I did connect 4 devices and one output for the TV. In this particular case it's a display, 4K display, which by the way we can put inputs with 4K up to 4K, but if we have a smaller input like a Android TV box that only supports 1080 for example, we will be more than fine because it will accept from 4K below, no worries whatsoever. It's also compatible with HDMI 2.0, HDCP 2.2, video resolution up to 4K as we have mentioned at 60 Hz. It has DTS HD, Dolby True HD and a lot more, which I will leave a link down below so that you can check out all the specifications. Now in terms of functionality, once we connect our 4 inputs and 1 output to our TV, we are ready to start working with it. Now I can use this button right over here to cycle through. So at this moment I'm using source number 2, and my source number 2 is this Chromecast Google TV, and I can just control it with the remote control, so enjoy my series and my movies and so on and so forth. But once I'm done with it, and if I want to change to any other device, I can just click this button right over here. So I'm moving from source number 2 to source number 3. Now source number 3 is this Android TV box, which is right over there, just as an example, but it could be a PlayStation or an Xbox. If I press it once again, I've got one MacBook Pro which is out of the frame, but we can check. This is not my MacBook Pro, this is my Windows computer, and I've got the mouse right over here which I can control the computer. Now this is just as an example, as I said, we can use a computer, either Windows or Mac OS, which is the next one. If I press, then we will go to my computer with Mac OS, which is on the other side. Now the computers today are out of the frame. I only have the Chromecast right over there and the Android TV, but if I wanted to check out Jorge's website with a lot of great products, as we have seen some of them, I can just browse around and use my computer. But once again, it could be a PlayStation. So this is one of the ways that we have to control using the button right over here. But if you are on your couch, then probably you don't want to get up and then change and so on, and that's where the remote comes into place. It has 4 buttons. Each of this will represent HDMI input 1, 2, 3 or 4. So at this moment we are with number 2, and as we can see by the LED indication right over here, we also have the LED indication for the power on and off. But at this moment we are with number 2. If I want to go directly to number 4, instead of clicking right over here, if I press here, what happens is that it will go directly to number 4. Now let's imagine that I want to use source number 3, and if I use the button, this is one of the disadvantages, of course. If I use the button, I will have to go 4, 1, 2 and then 3. But if I use the remote, I just need to press number 3, and there we go, I'm using source number 3. It will take a couple of seconds depending on the display that we have. And now if I want to go to number 1, for example, there we go, and we are back with the MacBook Pro in a second. There we go. And then if I press right over here on number 4, we will go to our Windows computer. And basically this is the way that it works. Easy as this. So I can just select the source that I want, and if I want to watch a movie on my movie series device or my DVD player or wherever, I can just select and then move around. And if I want to change to my Xbox and enjoy a few games, then we can just with a click of a button enjoy a new device without having a mess of cables around the TV. Now, talking about cables, this is right over here so that we can see on the frame, and I've got a few cables. But my suggestion is, if we put this setup on our living room, for example, we can put this under the table, so we only need to bring up one single cable to our TV, and that is it. We can hide it and it will stay below, and we only have one cable going to the TV, so we don't need this mess right over here. But to be able to show a little bit more, and the LEDs and all the connectivity and so on and so forth, right over here we have all this mess, but we can do some cable management and get rid of all of them, and just one single cable through here would be just fine. And basically this is it, easy as this, and we will solve at least 2 issues that we commonly have with our TVs. First of all, the lack of HDMI input. So right over here, as you have seen on the tests that I did, I can switch with the remote control or with the button between my PlayStation, my Xbox, my TV provider set-top box and my Android TV box, for example. And besides that, I will also eliminate the 4 HDMI cables that usually would go directly to my TV if my TV had 4 HDMI inputs, and I will only have one cable to go to the TV, which is much easier to manage. So that being said, I will leave the link down below for this particular HDMI switcher. If you need more than 4 ports, I will try to leave the link down below as well, because Jorge has a lot of solutions which are really useful on a daily basis. That being said, hope that the video was helpful in some way, and if it was, don't forget that usual thumbs up right over there, which is really appreciated on this side of the screen. My name is Roberto, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.